Welcome to this channel. Here, you don't just listen to stories, you feel them. Every story you hear helps you learn English naturally, through emotion, imagination, and life itself. So before we begin, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Because each day, a new story will touch your heart and strengthen your English. Now let's start today's story. A story about dreams, pain, and hope. The story of a young woman who found strength when life said no. Anna was 28 years old, full of quiet dreams and gentle energy. She lived in a small city near the mountains, in a tiny apartment with white curtains and two green plants by the window. Every morning, she would drink a cup of coffee, open her notebook, and draw. Lines turned into dresses. Colors turned into emotions. She could spend hours lost in her world of design. Since childhood, Anna had always loved fashion. When she was 10, she used to draw dresses on her school books and imagine models walking proudly on the stage wearing her creations. Her family wasn't rich. Her father worked in a small garage, and her mother baked bread for a local shop. They didn't really understand her dream, but they never stopped her from chasing it. After finishing school, Anna joined a design academy. To pay the fees, she worked part-time in a coffee shop. She would take orders, smile at customers, and later go to her classes tired but determined. Her teachers liked her. She wasn't the best, but she had something special, passion and imagination. When she graduated, Anna was filled with hope. She decided to open her own small online shop and called it Dreamline. Her idea was simple: create clothes that made people feel confident and alive. She started with 3 dresses, each handmade, each with love. She took photos, edited them carefully, and uploaded them to her online page. She waited for that first sale, that first message, that first customer who would say, "I love your work." But nothing happened. Days passed. Weeks passed. Nobody bought anything. Anna tried to stay positive. She changed the pictures, wrote better captions, and even offered discounts. Still silence. Her followers were few, and most of them were just friends who liked her posts out of kindness. At night, she would sit by her laptop and whisper to herself, "Maybe it just takes time. Maybe next week." But deep inside, fear was growing. What if she wasn't good enough? What if her dream was too big for someone like her? One evening, as the rain hit the window softly, Anna sat staring at her empty inbox. The only email she received that day was a bill reminder for her rent. Her savings were running out. She covered her face with her hands and cried quietly. She felt like life was whispering no. No to her talent. No to her dream. No to her effort. Her parents called often, asking how her business was going. She didn't have the heart to tell them the truth. Her mother said gently, "Anna, maybe you should think about finding a real job." Those words hurt like a knife. Anna wasn't lazy. She was tired of trying so hard and seeing nothing change. Still, she promised herself to give it one last chance. There was a local fashion competition coming up, the Young Designers Award. It was small but respected. She believed if she could win or even be noticed, her life could finally change. She worked for 3 months on her collection. She designed 10 beautiful dresses, each inspired by emotion, joy, sadness, freedom, hope. She stayed up late, stitching, cutting, redoing, and imagining applause in her head. On the day of the competition, she arrived with her heart beating fast. She saw other designers, confident, well-dressed, smiling. Their collections looked professional. Suddenly, she felt small and invisible. Still, she smiled and whispered, "I can do this." Hours later, the results were announced. She didn't win. She didn't even make it to the final round. Her hands trembled as she packed her dresses. No one clapped. No one noticed her. She left quietly, trying to hold back tears. That night, Anna sat on the floor of her apartment. Around her were pieces of fabric, sketches, scissors, and broken dreams. She looked at them and said softly, "Maybe this is not for me." She deleted her online shop. She closed her design pages. She put all her drawings in a box and pushed it under the bed. She didn't tell anyone, but inside she decided it was over. Her dream was gone. Days turned into weeks. Anna stopped drawing completely. The passion that once filled her heart now felt like a heavy shadow following her. She started sleeping more, talking less, and avoiding friends. Her parents noticed. Her mother hugged her and said, "Anna, sometimes life tests us before it blesses us." But Anna didn't believe that anymore. She just smiled weakly and said, "Maybe I wasn't made for big things." Every time she saw someone wearing a beautiful dress on TV, her heart ached. It was like seeing a part of herself that she had buried alive. But even though she didn't realize it yet, life had other plans. Because sometimes when life says no, it's not rejecting you, it's preparing you. After months of disappointment, Anna finally decided to find a normal job. She applied for a position at a small clothing store in the center of the city. It wasn't her dream, but at least it would help her pay the bills. On her first day, she wore a simple black dress and tied her hair neatly. The shop smelled of new fabric and perfume. Everywhere she looked, there were dresses, shirts, and shoes, all designed by someone else. It hurt her a little, but she smiled. Her job was to help customers find the right outfit, fold clothes, and manage the counter. Day after day, she met people full of life, laughing, shopping, living, while she stood there pretending everything was fine. Sometimes, when the store was empty, she would touch the soft fabric of a dress and imagine how she would design it differently. Then she would sigh and whisper, "Not anymore, Anna. That part of your life is over." Her manager, Mr. Blake, was kind but serious. He noticed that Anna was polite, hardworking, and always gentle with customers. Still, she rarely smiled with her heart. Her smile was like a mask she had learned to wear. One rainy afternoon, while Anna was cleaning the shelves, an old woman entered the store. She looked elegant, wearing a pearl necklace and a calm, kind smile. Her eyes were warm but sharp, like someone who had seen much in life. Anna greeted her softly. "Good afternoon, ma'am. How may I help you today?" The woman looked around for a moment and said, "I'm looking for something special, a dress that feels alive." Anna showed her a few dresses, describing the colors and the fabric. The woman listened carefully but shook her head each time. Then she looked at Anna and said, "You describe clothes like someone who understands beauty deeply. Are you a designer?" Anna froze for a second, her heart skipping a beat. She wanted to say yes, but she couldn't. Not anymore. So she smiled weakly and replied, "I used to be, but life said no." The old woman nodded slowly, her expression thoughtful. Then she said something that Anna would never forget. "My dear, sometimes when life says no, it's not because you can't, it's because you're not ready yet. The no is only a pause, not the end." Anna stood silently, her eyes beginning to fill with tears. No one had spoken to her like that in a long time. She whispered, maybe you're right." The woman smiled kindly and said, "Of course I'm right. I've lived long enough to know that beautiful things grow after storms. Don't bury your talent, my dear. Let it breathe again." Before leaving, the woman picked a simple white dress from the rack and said, "This one is lovely. You have good taste." She paid, smiled, and walked out slowly, leaving behind an energy that stayed with Anna long after she was gone. That night, Anna couldn't stop thinking about her words. The no is only a pause, not the end. It echoed in her mind as she lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. The next day, she came to work as usual, but something was different. A tiny spark, small but real, had returned inside her. She smiled at customers more naturally. She even helped a little girl try on a dress and told her, "You look like a princess." The girl laughed, and for the first time in months, Anna laughed too. 3 days later, as the sun set behind the city, the doorbell of the shop rang again. Anna looked up, and there she was, the same old woman, wearing the same gentle smile. Anna said warmly, "Welcome back, ma'am." The woman handed her a small white envelope and said, "I thought about you, dear. Come visit this address tomorrow. I believe you still have something beautiful to share with the world." Anna looked at the card. It said, "Collins Design Studio for Young Creative Minds." She looked up to thank her, but the woman had already left. Anna stood there, holding the card close to her heart. She didn't know it yet, but her life was about to change. The next morning, Anna woke up early, her hands still holding the small envelope from the old woman. Her heart beat fast with hope, but also with fear. What if it's nothing? What if this is another disappointment? She whispered to herself. Still, she knew she had to try. She dressed carefully, took her portfolio of old sketches, and walked to the address. Collins Design Studio. The building was small but elegant, with big windows and bright lights. Inside, young designers were working on colorful fabrics, sewing machines humming, and music playing softly in the background. Anna felt nervous but determined. She took a deep breath and entered. A woman in her 50s, elegant and warm, approached her. "Hello," she said with a gentle smile. "I'm Mrs. Collins. Are you Anna?" Anna nodded, feeling her stomach twist with anxiety. I was told to come here," she stammered. Mrs. Collins looked at her portfolio and said, "Show me your work." Anna opened the folder, her hands trembling. She showed the sketches she had buried months ago. Every line, every color, every dress, it was all a part of her soul. Mrs. Collins looked at them carefully, then smiled. "These are beautiful," she said softly. "You have talent, Anna. True talent. I want you to work here with us." Tears filled Anna's eyes. She couldn't speak. For months, life had said no. Now, for the first time, it said yes. Anna began working at Collins' design studio. She learned new techniques, met inspiring people, and finally felt alive again. Her designs started appearing in small exhibitions, then in local magazines. Customers loved her work, and her confidence grew every day. One evening, as she looked at a magazine featuring one of her dresses, Anna remembered all the nights she cried alone, all the emails she deleted, all the failures she faced. She realized something important. Every no had prepared her for this moment. Every disappointment had taught her patience, resilience, and determination. She smiled and whispered, "Thank you, life, for saying no. It was never the end. It was just the beginning." From that day on, Anna worked harder, dreamed bigger, and shared her journey with others. She became an inspiration, a reminder that even when life seems impossible, hope and effort can transform every no into a meaningful yes. So, my friends, when life says no, don't give up. Every closed door, every failure, and every moment of pain can lead you to something greater. Patience, effort, and faith in yourself are the keys to turning rejection into opportunity. If Anna's story inspired you and helped you practice English, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more motivational English stories. Every story helps you learn English naturally and discover hope and strength in your own life.